Yeah, so I believe I'm live. So basically, we're talking about a session about 10 days to get. We'll start in a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, I hope you all are doing great. Um and so let's go about looking at how to do. So just 10 days to get. I mean, we have prepared all this time and we have done everything. So just 10 days remaining to CAT, and we need to look at how to go about doing the last 10 days. So does it make a difference? Does it not make a difference? Technically, yes, the 10 days can make a lot of difference in your preparation. So we'll discuss that. Okay. If you have any queries, any questions, you can always put in a chat box and when you start. But yeah, you can discuss whatever. So we will start in a few minutes. In the meantime, if you have any questions, queries, do put in the chat box and then maybe we can discuss. Yeah. Hi, Anirudh. Good evening. Yeah. So as I said, we are talking about 10 days to CAT. What should you do? I mean, and how do you need to go about preparing? So a lot of people believe that 10 days may not be sufficient to do anything great, but yes, it makes a difference. Again, I repeat, 10 days could make a difference in their scores. I've seen people jumping the scores, and it makes a huge difference in the exam. Yeah, hi, Sarbas. Yeah, so we will discuss that. In the meantime, I'm waiting for your questions. If you have any questions, queries that you want to ask, please feel free to put in the chat box and I'll try to answer whatever queries that can be there. CET 2023, no idea. I mean, not before March. March is the earliest that can happen. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and watch when the CET 2023 will happen. But yeah, that is a different matter. Right now, the session will be focused on CAT. Should I queue mocks or analyze the previous mocks? All that becomes, can do both. But yes, slowly, as and when you come closer to the exam fatigue, you need to focus more on analyzing previous mocks than writing new mocks. I don't know how much writing new mocks will help you. If you've already written enough mocks, then writing new mocks may not help you in a great way. But yes, going through your previous mocks and being aware about what your mistakes were could help you a lot. Yeah, so we'll talk about it. Um, how much can you improve in 10 days? Technically, not much. But if you can have a right mind frame in the exam, I mean, over the 10 days, if you can develop a right mind frame, then you can have a jump in the score in the examination. So, what I'm trying to say is maybe in 10 days, whatever you prepare may not help you in a great way to improve your scores or your capability because you already prepared a lot. But what you do in these 10 days could make a lot of difference in your examination performance in terms of what you do and how you go about it. Right? Music side, 95% on ICAT is good. So let's try to wait and look at high sure. TSD. So TSD, if you have done earlier, then look at easy questions and solve. Just revise it again. That's what I could say. Okay, but don't try to focus on anything in specific. Okay, so we will start with a session, and then maybe as and when we go, we will try to take questions and solve. Try to keep your questions short. It becomes a little difficult for me to read long questions. But yeah, I will try to go about it. So the whole idea that I'm doing is I'm assuming that you have worked hard. I mean, worked hard in the sense you're prepared for the exam. So you've written enough mocks. Like enough mocks could vary. It could be maybe 5 mocks. It could be enough. It could be 10 mocks. Could be enough. But I'm assuming you've written enough mocks for yourself, whatever you're satisfied with, and you're finding that you've written enough mocks to help you with regards to your practice and performance. You may not be happy with your score, okay, with your scores, but you did prepare. And what I'm trying to say is, you may be happy, may not be happy. I'm not saying that anything on that respect, but you were prepared for the exam. So what does that also mean? That your more preparation is actually not helping you to improve your score, but you're prepared well till now. You have worked hard, you've written enough mocks, and this is what I'm assuming. If you suddenly get up and say that today I want to write a mock, I want to write the CAT examination 10 days to go, this is not a session for it. This is a session for people who are prepared no matter what your scores are and how to go about the future. If you're just getting up from your sleep right now to write the CAT, then you need to write the mocks, do a lot of things as such. So let's start with trying to understand what does CAT test you on, so that we can know how do you go about preparing in the last 10 days. Okay, let's try to first focus on CAT, what does CAT test you on? So thinking ability. So what does CAT test you on is, are you able to think? I mean, that's what the main aspect is. So whenever a person who's being a good manager, he should be thinking through the problems and processes of whatever it is there. So thinking ability is what is being checked on. What also is being checked on is whether you can take decisions under stress. As a manager, you'll be under a lot of stressful situations. You need to take a lot of decisions under stress. So are you able to work under stress? Able to comprehend what you read. You read, as a manager, you're supposed to read a lot. I mean, a lot of news articles, you need to keep abreast of what is happening in your company, what is happening around you, everything. Are you able to read? So basically what we're talking about, do you have the managerial skills with you? So that is what CAT tests you on to some extent. I'm not saying no. CAT is not checking on mathematics. CAT is not checking you on formulas. CAT is not checking on anything. CAT is just checking on these aspects. Whether you're able to think, whether you're able to take decisions under pressure, whether you're able to comprehend what you read, and similar basic aspects about management. That is what is CAT testing you on. First, try to understand that. What people do is that they try to mug up formulas, they try to look at complicated sums, etc., which is not being asked in the examination. So why bother about preparing for all that stuff? Instead of that, look at what you've already studied, what you already know, and go ahead with that. Last 10 days, I don't think is a time where you do a lot of new things in terms of new topic preparation. Unless they're easy, you can understand and go about it. But if a new topic is there which is very tough to understand, I would rather skip it, because anyway I would leave in the exam because it is anyway a tough topic. There is no point going about it. So important point as far as it goes is, what does CAT test you on is your managerial skills. Taking decision under stress, your thinking ability, and comprehend what you read. And that is what you need to prepare yourself in the last few days to go about it. So what will help you to improve your scores? Preparation will not help you. Don't think that you prepare more in the last 10 days, it will help you. May help you. I'm not saying it will, definitely not. May help you to some extent. But understand, you all have prepared for last 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. You've already prepared a lot. So do you think 10 more days of preparation will help get a great jump in the score? Unlikely. If you look at the way the scores normally improve in the mock, I mean the graph, it is normally like this. So initially you may find good improvement, and suddenly it stagnates. It will again have a jump provided you do something new experimentation, new methods, new things, then there could be a jump. But without that, your scores normally stagnate. A lot of you will find that your scores are stagnated, or your scores go down, your scores are not improving, but it's normal. I don't see a problem in that. I'm not saying that means that your score will not improve in the exam. Your score will improve in the exam. I mean, that's a different matter how you perform in the exam. But I'm just saying that by writing more mocks or by preparing more, it may not help you to improve much as far as the exam is concerned. So what helps? One is being relaxed in the exam. You need to be relaxed. I mean, that's more important. And having a proper mindset definitely helps. Okay, these are two things that are important as far as the examination goes. So being relaxed as far as the exam goes and having a proper mindset. Not about how much you're going to prepare. Just to give you an example, I'll give you my example. When I was in my final year in my college, our college had exams. I give examples regularly. So Monday to Friday, we had college exams, semester exams. And semester exams are such that we only prepare on the last days. We never used to prepare earlier. So we search for notes, go to our friends, learn from them, and then go and write the exam. Maybe make a full night out. So almost 5 days, hardly any sleep. Okay, prepare for a semester exam because that was important. So we had given up hope for the CAT, which was on Sunday on that week. Okay, and that also not in the same city. We had to go to some separate different city and write the examination on a Sunday of that week. So what happened? So in that specific year, we had a lot of IM calls. Okay, I mean we had more number of IM calls than what we had normally get. Why was it? Because the exam was on Monday to Friday, and that is my theory on it. Because the exam was on Monday to Friday, a lot of us friends had given up hope. Even I had given up hope. And they not even touched the CAT notes before the examination. Almost 15 days before, we had given up CAT preparation because the college exams are important. We had to pass it and do well. So not even touch the books for 15 days. Physically exhausted, Monday to Friday, night out, mentally tired, we exhausted completely. Saturday we had to catch up on our sleep, then Sunday go and write the exam in some other place. So it was really nightmare. But still the number of IM calls were maximum during that year. Why? Because Though we were physically tired, we were more relaxed in the examination. Why? Because we didn't have any expectation. We said, let's go and write the exam. We have to anyway give it next year for serious preparation. But this year, let's go and write and try to understand how the exam is. So our mindset, we are more relaxed. So our mindset was such that we were not tensed about our performance in the exam. We didn't have to crack the exam. We were all prepared in the mind saying that, okay, ये साल नहीं होगा तो अगले साल देंगे. That's the basic mindset we had. And that mindset definitely helped us to do well in the CAT. Okay, that also helped. This same mindset also helped me to do well when I wrote the first CET examination. Okay, where I did perform much better, because when I wrote the CET exam, I said, okay, let me give one more attempt for CAT. I wanted to write one more attempt for CAT just for the sake of it. Okay, so I just went and tried to write the CET exam. I prepared. I'm not saying I didn't prepare for the exam. I prepared for the exam, but when I wrote the exam, I was more chilled. I hardly slept for 4 hours in the previous night. Morning, I went and wrote the exam, had a strategy in place, followed the strategy, and did well. That time I did extremely well than what I used to do in the mocks. It was a big jump in my score. Same way here, when I wrote this exam, I did get a call from the IIMs at that time. At that point of time, when I wrote the mocks, my mock scores were not very great. It was average. When my college days, I was not very great at my aptitude. But in the exam, I performed much better than what I did in my mocks. And why was that jump happening? Purely because I was more relaxed. I said, okay, let me go and give my best. If I don't happen, it's fine. Let me give it next year. And that's what I was more keen on. So having that mindset becomes very important. That creates a huge jump. So a lot of my friends from my batch, from my college, did have a huge jump in the score. And the reason for the jump in the score was not because we prepared hard in the last few days. As a matter of fact, we didn't prepare at all in the last few days. It was because we were more relaxed in the examination and we were prepared to give it next year, if not this year. So that helped us to relax and that helped us to perform better. Not that we didn't prepare at all. We had prepared before that. Before that, 15 days before the exam, before that we had prepared well. But 15 days close to the exam, we couldn't prepare because of the college exams. And that's what creates a problem. So how do you prepare? Now suppose you want to prepare. My suggestion is don't think too much about the scores or percentile. Make a proper schedule of preparation. Your normal preparation keep on doing every day. Read, solve DLR sets every day. Reading is the most important thing I normally say to people. As in when you come closer to the examination, it's more important that you read on a regular basis, and more you read, the better it is. I normally divide reading into 3 parts. One is read what you enjoy reading. Okay. That not only helps you to slightly divert your mind from the CAT exam, but it also creates a good reading habit. Read articles from diverse topics, psychology or something others, which you find difficult to read. Maybe you can read those topics and read. And read editorials, maybe some business editorials, articles, read. Okay. Daily newspapers like Hindu, the Times of India, Indian Express, businesses like Mint, the Economic Times, etc. So read this. Reading the most important. I also recommend that try to solve DLR sets on a regular basis, because I've seen students who have not solved DLR sets for a few days, their scores suddenly going down. Therefore, it's important that you be on regular touch. Maybe minimum 2 to 3 sets if you're not working, maybe 4 to 5 sets if you're not working, depending on time you have solved. Puzzles make you think. So maybe one puzzle every day just to make you think. Remember, CAT is a thinking based exam, and solving puzzles before the exam do make you think. So think, solve puzzles. One puzzle, not too much time for puzzles. Maybe 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes of puzzles. Could be Sudoku, could be Minesweeper, could be anything that you make you think as such systematically. A little bit of calculations. Ideally, maybe a 1-digit, 2-digit calculations to make it quicker. Because a lot of sets like DLR sets have a lot of simple calculations, single-digit calculations. If you're good at those calculations and you can do it fast, it helps. You can't use a calci for everything. That takes a lot of time. So calculations helps. Practice some maxims. Practice some jumble sentences odd man out. Important is to revisit past mocks. What happens is, one question that I was asked before this was, should I revisit past mocks or should I solve more mocks? My suggestion is, as and when you come closer to the examination, the last week, focus on revisiting past mocks. Look at what you did in the last mocks as such. Where did you go wrong? In which strategy worked for you? Which strategy did not work for you? Being aware about what strategy did not work for you will help you to react in the examination in a proper manner. Go back and check whether some questions that you marked as important. Go to those questions. Go back to your mistakes and check what were the mistakes you did. What was the common cause of the mistake or process of mistake. Moment you're aware of those mistakes, you will be able to know what mistakes you do normally commit and maybe avoid in the actual exam. So revisiting past mocks becomes more important than solving new mocks as and when you come closer to the examination. So go through your past mocks. I'm assuming that you've made some write-up for every mock that you wrote. Even if you have not, go back to your past mocks and try to go and picturize what mistakes have you done and see how you can avoid them in the examination. That becomes more important than actually solving the mocks. Also, what you need to do, try to involve activities that will help you divert your mind from CAT. Anything, whatever you feel can divert your mind from CAT. I mean, hobby, interest, whatever you feel. Also, look at ways to relax. For us, when we wrote in the final exam, the college exam were the one thing that completely moved CAT from our mind. We didn't even think about CAT in those days. Couldn't. Okay. Also, look at activities that will help you relax, not physically but mentally relax. Something that you enjoy doing, something that you go about thinking beyond CAT. So try going about doing things. It's okay to be physically tired, but it's not okay to be mentally tired as far as possible. So just relax, go about doing things as far as possible. So these activities I feel is more important. That means as and when you prepare, you're preparing maybe whatever time. You can prepare for 5 to 6 hours a day maybe. But on regular intervals, try to do activities that you feel that you can take a break from the CAT and do things that are, move away from CAT. And that should hopefully help. Okay. I'll take up questions. So give me some time. Let me just finish my session. Then I'll take up questions, whatever. Okay. We will also have courses after the CAT exam. IIT, STAP, that GMAT. We'll come to that. Okay. I'll take up a few questions and then maybe if you have anything that you want to further ask, you can ask on that. All right. Okay. What to do of VRC? I'm getting a lot of questions on VRC. Now understand VRC scores in the mocks and what you score in the actual CAT could be a big difference in the scores. Because somewhere I see the mock VRCs are not the level of the actual CAT VRC. Because most of the mock VRC questions are more have direct questions and they're not framed properly. Whereas if you look at the CAT VRC questions are more indirect based. I mean, the way they are put up is very different from the actual mock VRC is. So if you're scoring low in VRC mock, don't worry too much about it. I think you should chill. What is more important is read. Okay, I remember that when we prepared for I don't solve mocks. I have not even solved any VRC section. I have not taught any VRC. I have not done anything in VRC. I don't teach VRC. I have not solved any mocks. I have not solved any section test of VRC. I have not practiced any jumble sentences. I have not practiced any odd man out. I have not done anything. What I only do is read. And I know other people who do that. Only read, nothing else. And still maybe we can manage to score 99 or 99.9% plus in the examination. Though verbal is my weak area. I'm just saying. The fact that I don't teach itself is verbal is a weak area. What I'm trying to emphasize out here is that reading becomes more important than practicing your other thing. You can practice jumble sentences, you can practice odd man out, but what becomes most important is reading. So as in when you come closer to the examination, focus more on reading. Don't worry about your mock scores or verbal scores. As long as you've been reading regularly till the examination time, your verbal scores will take care of itself. So I don't see a problem in that. So don't worry too much about the scores in verbal. As long as you read, as I said, read 3 things. One is something that you enjoy reading. Second, something on diversified articles. And third, when you read something on editorials. When you read, focus on understanding what the author is trying to tell you. Don't try to read fast. Don't try to do anything. Try to understand what the author is trying to tell you. Put yourself in that person's shoe point and try to figure out what. If possible, try to question yourself when you read. It helps to retain and go about it. Okay. Okay. Question that I'll take up. Should I give marks or analyze the previous marks? Analyze the previous marks, since that's what I go about it. How much can I improve my scores in the last 10 days? Not maybe in the marks, but in the actual CAT, I've seen people jumping from 60-70 percentile to 95 plus percentile. So there could be a huge jump in your scores, but that depends on what your right frame of mind is. If your frame of mind is right, it can definitely help you to improve your scores. Okay. Not able to solve more than one set in mocks. What to do, sir? One set will help you to clear the cutoff. Right now is not the time to think that I can solve one set or 2 sets. Don't focus on scores or percentiles. What you need to do is practice every day. If your DLR is weak area, then practice every day DLR. Go back to your previous mock, check out why couldn't you solve the second set, and try to analyze and try to figure out how to improve. But no point trying to, no, worry about it right now. Just analyze the previous marks and check on how you can improve on that. Okay. How many colleges should we apply for? I mean, most of the colleges that you can apply to is maybe after the CAT. Only few, I mean, MDI, Gurgaon and SPJ and a couple of colleges where you can apply now. Most will come after the CAT, so don't worry about that. For MDI, Gurgaon and SPJ, think about it as to what you need to do. Recently, I have been taking mocks every alternate day. However, my scores are declining. Writing more mocks doesn't help you improve your score. And there is a lot of chance that as in when you write more mocks, the scores may actually go down. Why does it go down? Because the moment you write more mocks, it creates more stress because you're so worried about the scores, you're so worried about the percentiles, that creates more stress and that leads to score going down. Therefore, I normally tell people not to write too many mocks as in when you come closer to the exam, because that can just create additional stress, additional pressure on you, and which may result in declining scores. So my suggestion is, if your scores are declining, just stop writing mocks or take a break from writing mocks, and then maybe you can write a mock after some time. How to make sure to attempt maximum question in VRC, as it will be the first section in exam. Attempt as many as you can. Don't try to push yourself too much in a VRC section. The moment you push yourself, you tend to read fast, your comprehension will suffer, and that will ensure that you go too many mistakes. Go with your normal pace. You have been practicing. Go with that same pace, read normally, understand what the author is trying to say, and answer the question. Also, ensure that you don't waste too much time in answering questions. Eliminate option and try to get the answer. That becomes one way where you can, solve 20 marks good. VRC scores drops because of stress. Don't focus on scores. Focus more on reading. Right. I have completed 80%. Should I give mocks and sectionals only and revise previous? Focus more on revising previous mocks. That becomes more important than writing more mocks. Understand that. 80 percentile in mocks. Good. How is it reliable? Your mock score and the actual CAT score will be quite different from each other. So don't think about it. I mean, you may go up, you may go down. It mainly depends on your mindset and how you think to the exam. So right now is not a time to worry about, okay, this is what I'm scoring and this is my percentile. That will only add to extra pressure and only push you down in terms of your scores. So don't worry too much about that. Right? My VRC score is falling. Don't worry about the score, just read. And I mean, VRC looks to be a major concern. I thought DLR would be a concern, but I'm getting VRC as a major concern. DLR, I'm least comfortable. Okay, whatever is a weak area, please ensure that you practice more in the last few days. If you think verbal is a weak area, then read more. If you feel DLR is a weak area, then solve more DLR sets as a closer to the exam. Maths is a weak area, then solve more math questions closer to the exam. So focus more on a weaker area as and when you come closer to the examination. So that is what you need to be touched with. Right? I am able to solve at most 4 to 5 DLR questions in mocks. How to do more than one set? Look at where you're wasting time and try to avoid that time. That's one way to go about it. Go back to your sets. Check where you're wasting time and can you avoid that wastage. Or look at a selection of questions. Are you selecting right sets? That could make a lot of difference. Scoring in 20s and 30 marks. How much marks will CAT will increase? Don't know. It can go to 60 also. I don't know. You can double your scores. But I cannot say right now. It depends on a lot of factors, right? From how your mindset, which is the main thing, but apart from that, other things. Don't expect a jump to 100. But yes, there could be a jump from 20, 30 to maybe 40, 50 possible. GYM is a good college, so if you want, you can apply. Also, what happens is I've seen this happening. If the paper is too tough, then a lot of people panic and the cutoffs go down. So then there's a chance that you may perform well in terms of your percentiles. So normally, people who are at a borderline case should be happy if there's a tough paper. So there's a chance that your percentiles may go higher. I scored 70. Okay. Comparatively easy. What are your thoughts? Yeah, it is completely easy mock. That's fine. I mean, right now, don't think of the scores. As I said, I mean, don't get me involved with thinking about the scores. Just chill, relax, and then try to go about thinking about what you need to do. Test one mocks are good, I feel. I mean, I'm not saying good, but it's fine. Okay, I'm not getting into more questions because all things are about marks and questions. What I'm just trying to say is, don't think of scores, don't think of percentiles right now. Okay, make a schedule, go according to the schedule, but in your mind, try to look at ways and means as to how you can relax yourself mentally. Try to make the CAT less important. Normally people say make CAT more important, study hard. but I would recommend and make CAT less important as far as possible. Okay, because the moment you make CAT less important, you will automatically be more relaxed in the examination. The moment you feel CAT is more important, you may have higher stress. There are few people who do well under stress. I'm not saying no. I mean, there are very few people who work very well when there is a lot of stress, but most of them don't. I'm not saying that you cannot, you will be stress free. Everyone goes through a stress in the exam. I mean, there's no one here. I mean, everyone who goes to the exam is a stressful environment. The key is that my level of stress should be less than your level of stress. That's all. If I'm less stressful, I tend to perform better than maybe yours. Again, I repeat, everyone will be stressed in the examination. That's not that no one is not stressed. The key is trying to ensure that you are more relaxed as compared to others. That's all you do. Statement, inference, conclusion question don't come in the CAT, so it doesn't matter. Don't look at those questions. I have not the geometry done with algebra arithmetic. Should I skip it? You can skip it. Last minute, I don't even do much on geometry. Maybe if you can touch one or two topics like equilateral, triangular, square, you can do it. Else, you can skip it. No point doing complicated topics in the last few days. Doesn't help too much. Okay, with this, we will stop here. I might have one more session live, or maybe I'll put up a lot of videos that will help you understand how to go about in the last few days. Go through those videos, and that should help you with regards to your preparation. Right? Good night, all the best, and thank you.